For those out there that haven't heard your backstory, share a little bit with my audience what you experienced, your time in prison, incarcerated, and then what you were able to do as soon as you got out, and the moment that you realized you wanted to support this president, because you used to be a Democrat. Is that right?
Absolutely. I used to be a Democrat. Back in 2005, I was arrested for a non-violent crime. It was title fraud. And at the time I was pregnant. So I ended up giving birth to my daughter, handcuffed to a bed, with the sheriff watching. 24 hours later, she was snatched out of my arms and I was sent back to a prison that was overcrowded. When I was released from prison 2.5 years later, I was given a $25 check and a bus ticket, and I was told, here, go start your life over. Well, I came home to absolutely nothing. I came home to 4 children that were waiting on me, 2 tombstones. My mother wasn't one and my grandmother wasn't the other. They both passed away while I was incarcerated. No one wanted to give me a job because I was a convicted felon. Not only that, I couldn't get housing assistance. There were certain government programs that I couldn't qualify for because I was a convicted felon. But being denied government assistance was really the best thing that ever happened to me. Because here's the thing, when I was denied, I had to figure out a way to make a living. So I started my own business. I found out what my God-given gift was. It was writing, because I wrote my first book when I was in prison. And I came home and I started my own publishing company, Stanton Publishing. We're one of the most successful publishing companies in the state of Georgia. I'm very proud to say that. So then, after that happened, that was part of me saying, wait a minute, I think these democratic policies like welfare have us stuck, because I'm thinking,
I want to touch on that really quick before you keep going. We hear so much from the black community, especially you and I, because we're part of that community. We're Americans first, but we're a part of the black community. But we hear so much from the black community that says, you know, it's all about the white man keeping us down. It's all about the government keeping us down. It's all about the police officers trying to shoot us. It's all about what we don't have. We even got people talking about why we need reparations. And you're sitting here telling me that you got out of jail with a $25 check and a bus ticket. You had to go home to family members passed away, 4 kids, no job, and nobody wanted to hire you because you were a released inmate, and you wound up creating a company that became one of the best and biggest publishing houses in all of the state of Georgia.
Yes, and not only that, I implemented a book camp program, which is a scholarship program that we have, and I turn returning citizens into authors. I go into the schools, I turn children into authors. I like to tell my kids all the time in the inner city schools in Atlanta, we don't sell drugs, we sell books. I haven't had one kid that's been an author go up to somebody and say, hey, I'm an author, will you support me, will you buy my book? And they tell them no. It's the perfect way to teach them entrepreneurship and to teach them that there are other ways to hustle. I know people don't like that word, but for a lot of our kids that are in the streets and doing the wrong thing, that's the terminology that they use, and they just need to know that they have the wrong product. That's all. So you give them something that's legal. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, and hustling just means work hard, work your butt off.
There's something else I want to tell you about my story and why I became a conservative and why I decided to support this current administration. It's been a year now. I saw how America and everyone was crying to reunite the families at the border. And I called my godmom and I was full of tears. And of course, we know that she has a very close relationship with the president. And I said, Mom, everybody's crying about the families that have been separated at the border. I said, but what about when they took my baby? Everybody's sitting up here crying, talking about kids in cages. No one cares about our kids in cages called juvenile detention centers across America. When I started to tell my story and I saw that he was willing to listen, not only willing to listen, but willing to act, it was a no-brainer for me. Here's a guy that everybody is claiming is a racist and a white supremacist, yet he's doing everything to fight against abortion. The only president for that. Not only was he for that, but he also was all for criminal justice reform. And let's take it even further. He didn't just pass the First Step Act. He came right back around with the Second Step Act because he wanted to make sure that they had jobs, that they didn't commit the same crimes and go back to prison. The 91% of the 7,000 that have been released from prison are black. If you ask me, that's a form of reparations. Because if I don't have my freedom, I don't have anything. If I'm not free, I can't take care of my family. If I'm not free, I can't start a business. I need my freedom in order to be free.
Yes.
I'm all for President Trump.